Hello everyone. This week's parsha is Parshat Nitzavim. This Torah is based on a Torah I heard from Rav Bernstein online, 2017. This is a short parsha, but we'll still have what to say about it. So this parsha begins with the renewal of the brit, especially after the Tochacha. You see the covenant has been renewed. Okay, and then we go towards the end of the third Aliyah, in chapter 29, verse 28. If you want to follow along, and the pasuk says, "Hanistarot l'Hashem Elokeinu, v'niglot lanu ulvanenu ad olam lasot et kol divrei haTorah hazot." That is to say, the hidden are for Hashem, our God, but the revealed are for us and our children forever to carry out all the words of this Torah. Now we need to ask, what does this mean? Hanistarot l'Hashem Elokeinu, v'niglot lanu ulvanenu. Hanistarot? What's nister? The pasuk doesn't say. It doesn't really seem to be clear. V'niglot. What's nigla? What's revealed? We don't know. The pasuk doesn't say. And moreover, hanistar l'Hashem Elokeinu, hanistar, from who? From whom is it hidden? Again, we don't know. So steps in the Ramban, and he explains out derech hapshat. He just gives us the basic meaning of the verses. And he says as follows. In context, this parsha is beginning with the renewal of the brit. Now what's included in this brit? So on a basic level, it's the mitzvahs and the averas. That is to say, the mitzvahs that we're supposed to be doing, and the averas that we're supposed to be avoiding. Now, what happens if we don't do this brit? Then, like we saw at the end of last week's parsha, we get the tochacha. That is to say, the punishments and the curses for not fulfilling the brit that we have, that the Jewish people have between us and God. Okay, but now there's an issue. That is to say, what exactly is included in this brit? Meaning, a person can come to make a mistake. Now, most people wish to avoid doing the wrong thing. But what would happen if he unwittingly does a sin and doesn't realize, right? Now, he might feel like he's being targeted by the brit. Because after all, rules are rules. The wrong thing is the wrong thing, even if he doesn't know. And that is very important to address. And the reason why is because if a person thinks that he'll be punished for something, even though he doesn't know it's wrong, he might come to have a different relationship with the Torah. So first, he'll think, this is unfair. As Israelis like to say, a good Israeli expression, "Ze lo fair." It's not fair. How can you hold me responsible for something I didn't know? And second, this person might think that the Torah is untenable, because no one knows everything, but even so, even if I don't know, and I honestly don't know, and I still do the wrong thing, and I'll still be punished, that is unreasonable. And it is critically important that a person never think that the Torah is making unreasonable demands on them. Because first, that's not true, and second, it can also lead to despair. Because after all, if a person says, look, even if I do my best, the Torah is just out to get me, and there's no way I can win, then in that case, that leads to trouble, and it's important to know that that is not a Torah perspective. And therefore, to that end, the Ramban says, the parsha concludes, Hanistarot l'Hashem Elokeinu. What's nister? What's nister from you? If there's something that's nister from you, you're not sure about what you don't know that something is forbidden or something is asur or something's a sin, and you do it anyway even though you're trying your best. That is l'Hashem Elokeinu. That is for God. Don't worry about it. It's only v'haniglu, only that which is revealed to you that's wrong. That is lanu ulvanenu. Now, because we want to reestablish the kind of this healthy perspective with the Torah, to know that the Torah does not make unreasonable demands of us. Everything that it does, everything that it demands of us, are things that we can do, and they're reasonable, and it doesn't hold us unwittingly responsible. And we see this elsewhere in Tanakh. That is to say, in Tehillim, in the 19th parak, the parak Yutet, Hamelech David says, "Shkiot miyavin, ministarot nakeni." That is to say, from things I did by mistake, who can understand them? And ministarot, for the things that I did unwittingly, that I didn't even know that were wrong, nakeni, cleanse me. So you see, we have support within the Tanakh for what this word nistar means. Now, so all this to conclude that a person is not accountable in the Tochacha way for things that are nistarot. And now finally we see that the bris becomes doable, it becomes reasonable, all is good. Now, it's important to clarify that this is not to say that a person should should make it his task in life to make everything unknown to him, so that then he can avoid the negative consequences. Because at the end of the day, if there's something that a person can learn and he can know, that's even worse. Because we see this in Pirkei Avot. There's a statement that says, "Shigig Talmud Olad Zadon," right? A mistake in learning, that is to say, avoiding learning, the price is an Olad Zadon. And because it's trying to distinguish that there's a difference between an honest mistake and a dishonest mistake. That's a very important lesson to learn that the Torah is teaching us. Now that is the way the Ramban learns it. I just want to go through quickly what Rashi has to say, because after all there's a Rosh Hashanah shiur coming up. Not now, but later. So it says, Hanistarot Lashem Elokeinu. Says Rashi, Vim Tomru, Ma Biyadenu Lasod. What can we do? And just as background information, last week we learned that the difference between the Tochacha at the end of Vayikra and the Tochacha from last week is that back in Vayikra, it was phrased in the plural, and last week it was phrased in the singular. And the reason why that is because in the plural, that's addressing many people as individuals, whereas now there's a concept of Kol Yisrael Arevim Zelazeh, everyone's responsible for one another, and that's why it's addressed in the singular. So with that, we have a question. Well, okay, if I'm responsible for everyone else, what if I don't know what they're doing? What if I don't know that they're making mistakes? Then what? Says the pasuk, Hanistarot Lashem Elokeinu. Says Rashi, Vim Tomru Ma Biyadenu Lasod. What can we do? You're punishing the many for the wrong thoughts of the individual. And then he quotes Psukim and says, a person doesn't know what the other person is thinking. So and therefore, according to the pasuk, Shehen Lashem Elokeinu Vehu Yipara Me'oto Hayachid. And God will take care of the person, the individual who's doing wrong things that you can know about. But if the person is doing wrong things and he's doing it publicly and you do know it, then you have Kol Yisrael Arevim Zelazeh. Therefore, Lanu Ulvanenu, Levar Haram Mikirbenu, in order to uproot the evil from our midst. Vimlo Naseh Din Bahem. And if you don't do it, then there will be judgment for you. Ya'anshu et harabim. The plural will be punished. The many will be punished. That is Rashi's take, and with that we'll conclude. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, but we'll hear for Rosh Hashanah tomorrow.